about none of that, man. Come see me. I'm very approachable in the streets. Stop hating.
We're back here. Name of the song, Stop Hating in the Bay. Sellassie in the building. And, man, you know, you're bringing a lot of heat. Talk about, you know, sometimes they say you have to leave home.
Yeah,
and you have to leave home in order to really establish yourself. Mm-hmm. Many people have done it.
Yeah.
Are you in the process of doing that? Are you going to leave home for a bit?
Yes,
hit the road?
I have to do it, you know, because it's very sad, and it's something I think about every day, Davey. It really affects me and bothers me that the artists here didn't really take advantage of the opportunities. But it's just like you said, if the game is good and I go to different places and they see me in different things, then they'll come and latch on and do that. Because there's opportunists in this game. You know, I have good intentions. That's why I'm in business and I'm doing what I do when I hook up with good people. I have good intentions with what I'm doing. Not everybody in this industry has good intentions. And because you got a good song don't mean you're a good person or you have a song that people like. I've met a lot of industry cats that have surprised me very, very much. And that are in this industry in the Bay Area and other places that you think is something but really ain't what you thought.
Oh, yeah. You see that behind the scenes.
Yeah, and you being a journalist, I can only imagine. You know what I mean?
You see it behind the scenes.
Oh, I see it behind the scenes.
You're like, oh, man.
You're like, man, I thought dude was like this. Dude is not like this, you know. But
on the good side, some of the people who folks miscalculate on.
There's some good ones.
Some of the people who people miscalculate on actually wind up being some of the realest and hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people underestimated Hammer, for example.
Yep.
And then when you really get behind the scenes, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, like, you know, he chin checking a lot of people.
Yeah.
And made a lot of things happen. Will Smith is another one. Who a lot of folks underestimated him.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's others, you know, I won't put them on blast, but you'd be like, oh boy.
Yeah. It's funny, man, the hearts of men. You know, it's really funny that I really trip off that. But there are some good ones. We've talked about there have been some good ones. I'll get an email with somebody be like, man, I had a great time at your show. I loved your show. Like 1 out of 1,000 or something is good for me because, you know, it shows we're doing a good thing.
You know, so, you know, I was asking about, you know, leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think you might be going?
Oh, yeah. We're going to Atlanta. We already got shows booked in Miami. We're booked in Atlanta. We're booked in New York. We're booked in Los Angeles. So I'm going to focus on that outside of here, you know, and I talk to artists now from different parts of the country that are 360 from Bay Area artists as far as like booking them, as far as what their movements are, their professionalism. It's a 360. Not saying it doesn't exist in these areas, but with the opportunities that we provide in these different areas, it's just like, whoa, what are you guys doing? You guys are great.
Do you think we're still hungry here, or do you think we kind of got used to this being a large market? The Bay Area is very deceptive.
Yeah.
It's small because people see it as being small because it's a bunch of little cities. Mm-hmm. I mean, Oakland is small. Yeah. You know, San Francisco's small, but when you combine them all together, it's actually a very large market. Yeah. It's like the 3rd or 4th largest market, so the big city. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think with the big city comes big city challenges and headaches, and I think we get used to it. You know, everybody's here in town all the time, and, you know, we have a reputation, and then people just kind of might not grind as hard.
Yeah, I think really the gentrification has really destroyed the fabric of like the hip hop shows. Not just because it's people of not color there, but just because it's like people who don't have the hip hop culture. A lot of people come to shows just to look at somebody famous. They don't like come to a show to really embrace the culture or anything like that. And it's hard for locals because nobody's really supporting the locals. So I think that the hip hop scene here is bad and continues to be bad because we've never really had an infrastructure of anything here. We always had entities of cats doing their own thing and started their own thing and, you know, did their thing and became famous for whatever. But we never really had an infrastructure of anything that was relevant to artists, you know, to progress as far as like, not anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that now and in the past, on a whole, we don't really have anything to where there's no artists really being signed out of the Bay unless it's somebody else signing them from somewhere else. We don't sign our own. We don't support our own. It's a culture that the man hoped that would be instilled, and it is instilled in the culture now, and that's why everybody is suffering the way that they are. They don't have any fans. They don't get, you know, any major promoters that want to pay them to come check out their shows. And I think that we could have done it here with people not being so selfish.
Right. Do you think, we've been doing a lot of shows on COINTELPRO and deliberate disruptions.
Yep.
When you look at the potential for the Bay Area to have been a challenge to the industry, which it was, there's a book that talks about that now that's coming out.
Wow.
We're gonna have the author on. I believe it's The Big Payback.
Wow.
Do you think that that's what's been going on? They looked and said, let's try and keep this thing in disarray so that it never really challenges a power structure. If you're talking about being revolutionary and gangster and all that, and then you're not depending upon a middleman to deliver that message, that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it was when the Panthers were around. It was with the free speech movement. Why wouldn't it be a problem with Sellassie coming out of the Fillmore and these other areas?
Yeah, it definitely is, because the Bay Area is rooted in that spirit. And I know a lot of really good artists that are conscious and that are really good, that can really be on all those levels and really be power players in the mainstream thing of the game. But I think that we probably could have some majors and people interested in what we do, but we don't coexist. I say that to say that.
But do we even want to go on a major now?
Well, I don't.
Do we really want to go in that industry anymore?
I don't think that we could, because I don't think that the majors, first they have to invest in something. What are they going to invest in? They're going to invest in a bunch of crabs in the bucket? So, you can look at the hyphy. That was one of the most recent opportunities to where a corporate entity got interested in what we were doing in the Bay. We lost our mind.
But the corporate entity killed that.
They killed it.
I mean, Cameo killed that.
Cameo killed it.
Quite deliberately. And for people who don't know, I'll never forget, because they started to... A lot of this music was being played in Los Angeles. I was at a meeting.
Yeah.
And some of the DJs there that were on the radio said, this is great. We have our own movement coming up in L.A. Can KML reciprocate? And they was told no. And they said, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a second. Y'all not going to reciprocate and make this a California thing. And they said no.
Wow.
And they stopped right there and then said, well, this won't get further than L.A.
Yeah.
End of story, and that was that.
Well, that's not surprising. That station has never been really with us, as far as with independent hip-hop. That's a whole nother thing. They're on a whole nother level, but... And they contribute to the problem, because people mindless drones listening to that. I mean, if you listen to it for an hour, you're going to hear the same song within 10-15 minutes.
Right.
They're not even on the level. They are part of the problem that's destroying the Bay.
But that's a corporation.
That's the corporation.
Yeah.
But there are good corporations. You know what I mean? Like if you could only imagine, because I thrive and I made a living on creativity and imagination. If these artists coexisted, the Shorts, the 40s, the Mac Malls, the Drew Downs, the cats that we deal with, the Selskies, all these cats were to come together and say, we gonna do something for us. I mean, it could be done today or tomorrow. That's why I'm in the forefront of trying to do that, because I deal with all these cats in one way or another. So I'm trying to get them to realize the benefit of creating something to where we coexist, even if we don't like each other. You can still do business and still act like you do, but it'd be good if the intentions were we actually did. But if you could imagine if we took those steps, we don't, because it's not in that culture. It's not in our culture to do that. It's an individual culture. I talk to cats like that all the time. Why would I put you on when I got my own thing going on, and then you take advantage of what I got going on? I mean, it's just so weird, man. So, it goes on so many different levels. Why would I come to your show and you're not going to? So we don't have a culture, man. It's. I'm not even knocking it. I'm in it. When you do
what's the step to get that culture going?
You know what? I don't know. I don't. I've thought about it a lot. I don't. If we couldn't do it with a simple hip hop show where where the artists actually bring their own people, I don't know how you could do it.
Yeah, but you can't leave people without hope right now. You got to come with a solution before you get on out of here.
I think one of my hopes is, and if everybody really takes this to heart, and if somebody wants to pick up where we left off or continue to do it, you really gotta listen to each other's music again, and you've got to buy each other's music. That's very important. You gotta try to figure out a way to where the independent artist can sell 2,000-3,000 units and make $15,000-$20,000 to sustain itself. If everybody did that, we'd all have money. We'd all be cool. But that it don't cost nothing to dream, like you say. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
We've been talking with my man Sellassie. How do we get a hold of you?
Man, you could get me SellassieFrisco.com, SELLASSIE Frisco.com, and just send me a link or something like that, and let's talk. and let's continue to try to break down these barriers in this Bay Area where we don't listen to each other's music.
They attack all of us for the same reason. All of us catch hell from the same enemy. We're all in the same bag, in the same boat. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy. The government has failed us. You can't deny that. Anytime you live in the 20th century and you walking around here singing, "We shall overcome," the government has failed.
'Cause the city's dying.
Every city across America.
And they don't know why.
Miseducation of the Negro. Special interest running America. Oil for blood. 13 turned Doug on my corner, on my block. Never riding on stock 22s. Up and down the streets riding gold shoes. Revolutionary, do my thing. I never gang bang and I don't wear blood diamond chains. Young brother, you gotta twist it. The whole system dependent on locking you in the prison. You better watch the 5-0 and the DEA. They make it hard for a brother living and dying in the Bay. 24/7, 360. Every day I just push it. I smoke purple cat piss so I might cush it. My young brother, please look at. My young sister, please look at. This cold abusive system that's racist and crooked. That's why my young killers cook it. Quarters and halves, you know it's sad they still jook it.
'Cause the city's dying. And they don't know why.
So there you have it. Want to thank everybody who's been tuning in this afternoon. Also want to thank our guest, Sellassie, from the 415. That's right, San Francisco. Also, Tim Carr from Free Press. Stay alert, folks, about this net neutrality debate tomorrow. We'll be back, Hard Knock Radio, leaving the building for now, but we'll be with you all week. So peace.
Never dance a scene, trapped in the bean. 2 million of my ancestral brothers, America KK. They took the soul of the struggle from us. Strong, smart, articulate, militant, and courageous. Black people not to get the only thing that can save us. I'm taking back what's mine. Find a terrible thing to waste. On the grind, on the chase, going God you trust. Fiend for the lust of the green, black tinnies never seen. Roll by, put his mug on me. Mirror in his pocket cause he practiced looking hard. It's sad the youngsters ride from the streets to the yard.
'Cause the city's dying.